Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping into something that sounds like it's straight out of a sci-fi movie, but it's actually one of the most urgent real-world challenges in tech today: post-quantum cryptography. It's this incredible, high-stakes race to secure our entire digital life before a new kind of computer comes along and potentially breaks it all. I mean, just think about that for a second. What if a single master key existed that could open everything? Not just your bank account, but military secrets, corporate patents, all of our private messages. Well, that's the kind of reality we could be staring down the barrel of, and it all boils down to a massive leap forward in computing power. And here's the really scary part. This isn't some far-off future problem. The threat is active right now. Adversaries right now are siphoning up huge amounts of our encrypted data and just storing it. They can't read it today, but they're making a bet. They're betting that in 5, 10, maybe 15 years, they'll have the quantum key to unlock it all. It's a strategy called Harvest Now, Decrypt Later, and it's why this is so incredibly urgent. Okay, so before we can really talk about the fix, we have to get our heads around the problem itself. Let's dig into the quantum threat and really understand why the digital locks we've trusted for decades are suddenly in danger of becoming totally useless. So, your laptop, your phone, the servers that run the internet, those are all classical computers. They think in bits, which are always either a 0 or a 1. Simple. And all of our modern encryption is built on math problems that are just way too hard for them to solve. But quantum computers? They play by a whole different set of rules. They use what are called qubits, and a qubit can be a 0, a 1, or kind of both at the same time. This weird quantum property lets them use new tools, like Shor's algorithm, to just tear through those hard math problems at a speed that's almost unimaginable. And the consequences of that, I mean, they're just massive. This isn't about some abstract data breach. We're talking about the very pillars of our modern world. Think about it. Classified government secrets, the global banking system, every private email or message you've ever sent, the security of your smart home devices, the intellectual property of entire companies, even things like Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. It's all protected by the same kind of math, and it's all vulnerable. So the threat is clear, and yeah, it's pretty daunting. But here's the good news. The world's best cryptographers haven't been just sitting around waiting for the sky to fall. For years, they've been building our defense, a brand new digital shield called Post-Quantum Cryptography, or PQC for short. So what exactly is PQC? Well, it's a whole new class of encryption algorithms. They're specifically designed to be tough enough to resist attacks from both the classical computers we have today and the powerful quantum computers of tomorrow. And this is the really critical part. You don't need a quantum computer to use PQC. It's made to run on our existing hardware, which is absolutely essential if we're going to pull off a global upgrade. Okay, this slide right here gets to the absolute heart of it. Our current encryption, the stuff we use every day, is based on math that's only hard for classical computers. PQC flips the script completely. It's built on a totally different foundation, new kinds of math problems involving things like lattices and hashes that we're pretty confident are just as hard for a quantum computer to solve as they are for a classical one. That's the secret sauce. That's what makes it resistant. But how in the world do you pick which new kind of math you're going to trust with, well, everything? You hold a competition, a global one. The U.S. National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST, basically kicked off what you could call a crypto Olympics, inviting the smartest people from all over the world to submit and attack new algorithms to see which ones would survive. And believe me, this has been a huge undertaking. It all started way back in 2016. After years and years of intense scrutiny and testing by cryptographers everywhere, NIST finally announced the first batch of winners in 2022. And just recently, in August 2024, they published the first 3 as official standards. But the actual transition, that's a marathon, not a sprint. The US government alone has set a target deadline of 2035 to get it all done. And here they are, the first wave of our new defenders. You've got ML-KEM, which is the new go-to for general encryption, for scrambling data. Then you have ML-DSA, which handles digital signatures. proving you are who you say you are online. And this is really clever. They also standardized SLH-DSA. It's a backup signature, but it's based on totally different math. It's the classic, don't put all your eggs in one basket strategy, but for cryptography. It gives us diversity just in case a flaw is ever found in the main approach.
But just having the standards, that's only the first step. Now comes the truly monumental part, what people are calling the Great Crypto Migration. We are talking about upgrading basically every computer, every server, every router, every secure piece of software on the entire planet. The scale is just mind-boggling.
And this table here shows one of the biggest technical headaches, size. A public key with our current tech might be just 65 bytes. Tiny. Its PQC replacement, Kyber, that's 800 bytes. Falcon is almost 900. That's over 12 times larger. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but when you multiply that by billions of secure connections happening every second all over the internet, it has huge knock-on effects for storage, for speed, and for how much data we're sending. And that size issue, it creates this whole chain reaction of problems. It can slow things down, which is a big deal for, say, a low-power smart device or even your phone. Then you have to figure out how to cram these new algorithms into ancient legacy computer systems that were never designed for this. It's incredibly complex. And of course, there's the cost. A global upgrade comes with a truly massive price tag. And to put a number on that, just look at this. Over $7 billion. That's the estimated price tag for the US government alone to make this switch. And that's just one organization. Now try to imagine scaling that up for every bank, every tech company, every hospital, every government on Earth. It's a financial undertaking unlike almost anything we've ever seen in tech. But despite all those challenges, the world is moving. The market for these PQC solutions is just exploding. It's projected to grow by something like 44% every single year. What this tells us is that people are waking up to the threat. Companies are starting to spend the money now to get ahead of the problem. So this whole thing, this massive migration, it's about more than just a one-and-done upgrade. This race against quantum computers is teaching us a really profound lesson about what security has to look like from now on. And that brings us to maybe the single most important concept to come out of all of this, crypto agility. It's a simple but powerful idea. It means building our computer systems in a way that lets us swap out the encryption, the locks, quickly and easily. That way, when the next big threat comes along, or when we invent an even better lock, we can adapt without triggering another planet-wide panic. This is the new gold standard for secure design. This whole process has really taught us that we just can't afford to build brittle, static defenses anymore. Security has to be alive, it has to be adaptable. The PQC migration is forcing us to upgrade not just our algorithms, but our entire philosophy on how we build systems that are meant to last. And this quote from the NSA, it just perfectly captures the strange position we're in. Even the National Security Agency is publicly saying, we don't know when this is going to happen, or even if a machine this powerful is possible. But the potential damage is so complete, so catastrophic, that we have to prepare as if it could happen tomorrow. We are racing to defend against a threat whose arrival date is a total mystery. So that's what it all comes down to, right? We built our entire modern, connected world on a foundation of cryptographic trust. Now, faced with this quantum threat, we have to do it all over again. The work is underway, but the race is far from over. Thanks for joining this explainer.